Hello, Bobcats. It's Mr. CK, your friendly neighborhood principal. In light of the nationwide walkouts, there have been many students at Buffett who feel passionately about the events in our nation and want to participate in their own walkout. As a matter of fact, over the last 3 weeks, I've had some productive and mature conversations with some amazing Bobcat students about student protests, walkouts, and the desire to have their voices be heard. Let me first say that I am moved by the students who reach out to me and want to discuss the tragedies they see in America's schools. The fact that we have students who are unsettled about what they see and want to speak out tells me that our teachers and family and community are preparing our students to take the lead one day. Whenever I speak to students about student protests, I tell them that what scares me the most is apathy from our youth. Apathy is when you simply don't care about the things going on around you. Apathy would mean that someone is so self-involved that they don't feel anger, sadness, regret, compassion, loss, rage, and unrest. Our students at Buffett are not apathetic. They care. They want to be involved. They feel confused and scared about many things, and they want to speak out about it. As educators, we're torn. We hold positions in which our role is powerful and cannot be abused. We must teach students about their First Amendment rights and their right to free speech, but we cannot take a political side with them. We can't tell them how to think. We can only tell them to think. We can't stand up with them and protest at school. We cannot urge them to protest. We cannot organize a protest. In short, we cannot allow or organize a walkout. And on top of all this, we must keep our students safe. So, the question on students' minds is simply, can I walk out of school? For students, the answer is that the school does not allow a student to walk out of school any day of the year, at any time. The district doesn't allow it, and for safety reasons, I can't allow it. And for parents, I am asking that you speak to your students about this at home as well. Please help me and the entire building share a message about safety. Another question is, if students walk out, will students get in trouble? Well, there are consequences for every choice. If any student decided to walk out of school at any time, I would have no choice but to provide appropriate consequences. I have no choice but to. Why can't students walk out? Well, let's think about that from a safety standpoint. If we're trying to make our schools safe, does exiting the building into an open space make students safer? No. It puts Bobcats in danger. It makes them vulnerable to people who want to attack them physically or verbally. I can't allow students to be unsafe or vulnerable. My job is to protect. So, what can students do instead of walking out? Well, this is the most powerful question of all. Let me respond back to you with some questions. What is the purpose of walking out? Do you want to honor the victims? Do you want to protest the law? Do you want to improve safety? For what reason do you want to walk out? If you want to protest, honor, improve, then there are lots of ways you can do that without leaving your classrooms and making yourself unsafe. Here's one. The very people who change the laws about guns and school safety are your state and local legislators. Find their names from your parents, from teachers, from the community. Write them a letter. Let them collect those letters, and let your collective letters shout at the people who can change the very thing that you want changed. Number two, we are a communications magnet. And what are the ways you could communicate safely? You could do a story for BBTV on the 17 victims of the Florida school shooting. You could honor their lives. You could focus on just one of them so their lives aren't forgotten. Let your voice carry their voice on. Third, have you seen the silent protests of shoes at the U.S. Capitol in the news? 7,000 children's shoes are lined up on the U.S. Capitol in a stunning memorial commemorating childhood victims of gun violence. This simple and quiet act was not dangerous at all, but sent a loud message to lawmakers. Again, speak to those who can make the change, but mostly Know the message that you want to send. The fourth thing is that every morning I say to you, if no one told you that they loved you, I'm telling you that I love you. And many of you laugh about that. And many of you say you love me back in the hallways. And I ask you, why do I say that to you every morning? Why? Because I want you to know that there is love in the world. And that I'm one of many adults who care about you and who will do whatever it takes to help you. I want you to see kindness in the world. You can spread this kindness. You can walk up instead of out. Walk up to that bobcat sitting alone at lunch or in class. Walk up to a teacher, a counselor, a paraprofessional, a cafeteria worker, a custodian, secretary, nurse, security officer, and thank them. Walk up to someone and spread kindness. Be a kind bobcat instead of walking out. I need you to know that kindness is a form of change. And it's a form of being heard and making a huge difference where it matters. Bobcats, I urge you to use those amazing brains and hearts to make the right decision about how to use your First Amendment rights. You do have the right to be heard. But I want you to be safe. I want you to follow the school rules. I want you to make the right decision for your own safety. Be brave. Be loud. Be kind. Be strong. Be thoughtful. Be a friend. Students, I challenge you to be that kid who makes a responsible choice. We are high-performing teachers and students in every classroom. We are Buffett. Thank you.